Good evening, and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this evening. There's a bit of news kicking around about tonight about Celtic legend, Celtic captain, ex-captain, should I say, the man, the myth that is Scott Brown. He has been linked with the Dundee job. So let me just get the poll up. He won't take it. My own thoughts is he wants to get a club promoted. Getting a club promoted would mean a lot more for Scott Brown and his CV than coming up to a club that's already in the SPFL and keeping them in the SPFL. Having that on his CV, I don't think that's what Scott wants. Having the prestige of getting a club promoted, in other words, that sets him on the road to bigger things, you know. It does set him on the road to bigger things. But the question is tonight, would the Dundee job be a good fit for Bruni? Considering there is a few players that we have had from Dundee over the years, and it could be a good case to put some other our players. Now, the reason I'm thinking behind it as well, it could be a case that we could put some of our players to Dundee on loan, give them SPFL experience to see if they're good enough, and Scott Brown can improve them as players. It's just a thought. It's just a thought, and it's just a question that I thought I'd ask in the chat tonight. So the poll question is tonight: Would the Dundee job be a good fit for Bruni? Personally, I don't think he'll take it if offered. He's made plans with his club, unless Dundee were to make him an unbelievable offer. But I think when you think what Scott Brown's done so far, football career-wise, the ambition is to get a club promoted. You get a club promoted, have that on your CV, and that's a big thing. Do you know, it's a big thing getting a club taken up from one league to the other. Just surviving in the SPFL for Bruni, I don't think this early on in his career it would be what he'd want. So anyway, it is a good question to ask tonight, and there we go, there it is. Right, in other Celtic news tonight, I hope you liked the Celtic news video earlier on, just a little bit of fun, but there is breaking news tonight when it comes to the Scottish Cup final. It's none of those ones. Obviously, before the final this weekend, T3 in the Park, T in the Park 3, the March 24th of May leaves at 1:15pm. Wear your hoops as the Celtic fans gather en masse and then head down to Hampden Park together. Yes, a big bunch of hoops fans marching down to the stadium. What could go wrong? Nothing, of course, because it's been done twice. It's been done a few times, isn't it? I don't think that this is the third attempt, but they are telling everyone to wear their hoops, and that's the first part of an exciting day at Hampden that the Green Brigade do have set up for fans. The next one is the Tifos. They have put out a statement tonight regarding the Tifo instructions for the Cup final. For the Cup final, we have organised 2 Tifos for the champions. Yes, even though Celtic didn't allow them to have one at Celtic Park. Instead, Celtic put out a little flag that was smaller than this A5 book. It was a bit Tories-like. It was a bit royal family-like, if you ask me, and it was, they wanted the best of flags. I don't know how it looked for the TV point of view, but it looked a bit Sevconian-like, to be honest. I'm just telling it as it is. But anyway, in the first half, they will have, as the teams come out, you use your poly sheet only as the teams emerge. That means that there will be some kind of tifo with the sheets as always, and it'll look fantastic, I'm sure. And then the second half is a case of fly the flag for the champions, because we've won the league again. Fly the flag. Scarves, banners, jerseys, green and white hoops. If anybody knows when that's from, tell me in the comments. It was a fantastic radio comment from the day that we won the league a good few years back. So anyway, that's all that part of the Green Brigade. And then there is the Anti-discrimination tournament, which is a fantastic tournament. I've actually asked a mate when the first one was. He's not got back to me as yet. And I've been to quite a few of these over the early years. The Green Brigade Anti-discrimination tournament is a fantastic day out. It is a family day out. You know, it is. They play. Obviously, they have the football tournament. They have barbecues. You know, they've got a bouncy castle. They've got a bar. Free food, what more could you want? And it's all Celtic fans. And what you basically have a lot of the different buses all set up their teams for the day, and they have a lot of football tourney. It's a cracking day out, and if the weather's good, it's always even better. So if you want to get along to that, it's at the James McGrory Park, 12pm kickoff with the free food, bouncy castle, bar, families welcome, and it's sponsored by KM Law. And I thought, fair play to the Green Brigade for getting some sponsorship for this. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I need to get some sponsorship for this channel. So if anyone is looking to get some eyes on their company, be it good or bad, I don't know. Maybe not. You feel a bit of a sell it when you do that. But it's good that KM Law have sponsored, because they obviously do quite a lot of work with KM Law. I wonder why. I could never think. It's maybe the group lawyers that they all use. Anyway, the poll so far has had 61 votes. Would the Dundee job be a good fit for Bruni? 68% say yes, 32% say no. So on that note, we move on to the aftermath. The aftermath of the weekend. Yes, the aftermath of the weekend. Now, Police Scotland have come out and said that they made a total of 20 arrests were made following the title celebrations. A total of 20 people have been arrested following significant disruption. What did they class as significant disruption? I take it that's just the fact that Celtic fans went down in numbers and then closed the streets off, rather than being an organised march by the police, and then the police turn up in numbers when everybody's going away, and then you get the young team coming in, getting bevied up, tanked up. So anyway. Police Scotland and Celtic previously urged fans to stay away from the following disruption in recent years, with club bosses stating that they were working with city officials to provide a set location for fans to celebrate after victories. Here's a thought for you. The footprint of Celtic Park is absolutely huge. It's massive. We managed to fit 60,000 folk outside the stadium before they enter the stadium, and I'm sure that the time that the buses go away, the area could be used. It could be utilised even more to have everyone at the stadium. I mean, London Road's closed, so the spillover onto the road could last a few hours longer. It's just a thought. Celtic and Police Scotland. Anyway, on Tuesday, Police Scotland said that they had arrested a total of 20 people, according to this report. 17 charged with and 4 reported in connection with offences. Offences include the use of pyrotechnics. It's amazing they only got quite a handful. And offensive weapons and assault and public disorder. I wonder what time of night they found all these people and arrested them. Maybe they went today, but anyway, I've never seen any fighting, and you've seen the videos. I was there till the later stages. Anyway, we move on from that. So in the past, we've got a league won and done and dusted, so now it's time to get the old get the treble in the bag, isn't it? I'm just reading. Wow, there's another ex-Celtic player. This one's a bit strange, this one. Partick Thistle will seek permission to open conversations this week with Paul Caddis. Paul Caddis? That's a blast for the past, isn't it? It's absolutely... He's on a managerial shortlist. Who'd have thought? Paul Caddis? Yeah, there, anyway. He's currently managing English Nation League Northside Hereford FC. Northside Hereford. Why don't you just call them Hereford FC? Why is it the Northside? Is there a Southside Hereford? Do they have that many teams? And Hereford? It's the Northside Hereford FC. I can't do an English accent. The fucking Wanks accent. They all sound like Huns, don't they? Anyway, that is your breaking Celtic news tonight. Done and dusted. The 7th of June, James McGorry Park. If you want a decent day out, and it is a fantastic day out, I would say most definitely head to that. But if not, enjoy the cup final, because that's the big day, isn't it? Seeing if Brendan Rodgers can be the most successful treble manager of all time. No, I wouldn't take the Grumpy Greek back. Of course I wouldn't. He's had his time at Celtic. He won Del Scott. That's the first comment I've seen, so we're going to dive straight into it. I wouldn't take the Grumpy Greek back because he wanted to leave Celtic. He wanted away. He regret about not getting enough game time. Brendan Rodgers isn't going to take him back. He went against Brendan Rodgers and went public on social media. So anyone thinking that the Grumpy Greek's going to come back to Celtic, was it Brendan? It was Brendan, wasn't it? I can't even remember. Anyway, he's in the past. He's never coming back. Right, let's jump into the comments and see who's all on board tonight. No square sausage, no party. And how's Tam Mac, Joseph Davison, Baz, see you made it home in one piece. Yes, I did. And I did that. I slept for two and a bit hours in the plane, which was fantastic. It's always good. Jimmy Clark is in the house, Joseph Davison, James Clark, Ewan Boy, Martin, Del Scott, Daniel, who's coming in for free Derry. Michelle Shaw, how are you? And another Michelle's. Look, Michelle's in here tonight. With you on Brunei, says Spacey. That's what I think. I think that he would rather get promoted. Herbo, what's happening in the chant of what happened to the chant of square sausage, no party? You and Kaiser promised. Oh, Jesus. Kaiser did shout it. I just don't think I was recording at the time. Kaiser in the house. I think he should have stayed. He should stay and try and build a team, get promotion. It would mean it'd be good for his CV, says Joseph. Yeah, a lot of people are with me on that one. I think it would be good. It does mean more on your CV when you can turn around and say that you got a club promoted. In football terms, when future clubs come to look at Scott, they will look at the fact that has he won anything? Well, you'll know his career, but it's a case of what has he done as manager. And when you've got that thing, we've got promotion in this year, clubs look at you a little bit different and go, right, that's good. That's good to know that they can actually get clubs to achieve that. I'm going to jump right through the comments to the newer ones. The Grumpy Greek wanted to leave because of Angel Michael Nicholson. He wanted to leave Lanky because he wasn't getting enough game time. Let's face it. I mean, you can be promised all you get. You can be promised wage rises and all the rest of it when you come to a club if you achieve targets. And if he's not achieved those targets because he's not getting enough game time, so be it. But anyway, Chris, it was absolutely fantastic. You can tell by the videos. It was absolutely fantastic. It was great being home. It's just a pity that I couldn't stay for the full week. Work commitments, we've all got to earn a living, and it'd be great to take a holiday for a week back in Scotland. But when everyone's working back home, it's not really a holiday. They need to go and hire a car and shit and do stuff, and it's bugger that. He was steaming down lives. Well, I tried to do a live before the game, and I was on for 8 minutes, and it was only because there's that many people with mobile phones in the area. There's very little signal to be had, and then I tried to go live after it from the stadium, and I just wasn't getting a signal at all. But there, hey ho. Stephen Johnson, hope you're good this evening it is. Got 95 votes. Let's see if we can get 200 votes. There's been 360 people on the live already. Let's see if we can get 200 votes on this one. Would the Dundee job be a good fit for Brunei? Personally, I think not. For the reasons I stated at the beginning of the video. And Paul Caddis has been linked with the Partick Thistle job. That's the most bizarre Celtic news that I've seen in a long time. Martin O'Neill doing another night at the Armadillo. There we go. Another night. We'll just see when you get tickets for this. An evening with Martin O'Neill gives the fans opportunities to hear firsthand about Martin O'Neill's colourful career and the 25th anniversary of his appointment as Celtic manager, which effectively kick-started this period of Scottish domination and set the ball rolling on quarter century of unprecedented success at Celtic. Upon his arrival at Celtic Park in June 2000, O'Neill promised to bring some success to the football club. That success was just winning the league. Nobody even thought about winning trebles back then. John Hartson said it. Chris Sutton has said it. And even when I spoke to at the airport, when I spoke to Jackie McNamara, even he said it. Winning trebles was the furthest thing for your mind. It was always about just winning the league. He kept his promise and won the domestic treble, Martin O'Neill, in his first season in Glasgow, only the third time in Celtic's history. He helped restore the club's reputation, reaching the UEFA Cup final in 2003. John Hartson has said that he and Martin O'Neill has reputably said if John Hartson had played in that cup final, we would have won. He was an unused substitute, wasn't he? Anyway, he also had the privilege of managing some of Celtic's most iconic players in his time as Celtic manager. Martin O'Neill masterminded a return to prominence for Celtic. O'Neill will take to the stage and relive his career and during his 5-year spell at Celtic Park, talking about the 3 league titles, the Scottish Cups, the League Cup, the UEFA Cup final, and also detail his experiences of captaining his country at World Cup, winning 2 European Cups with Nottingham Forest and turning Leicester from minnows into trophy winners. There's also going to be guests that will appear on that night. Now, tickets went on sale. On Thursday. It's not even. Yeah, they've been on sale. When is this thing? That's the 8th of June. Oh, the tickets have been on sale for ages. They're priced £35, £45 to £58.15, based on the tier of the auditorium and the SECC. So there must still be tickets for sale for it. For Glasgow World to put that out tonight. Anyway, interesting night. It's always good when you go to these things, but I was speaking to a guy who was at the one with Chris Sutton and John Hartson, and he'd been to a few of them, and he said once you've been to one, there's no use going to see them again because it's the same stories they tell. They don't change it up. They don't talk about different things. It's just they just regurgitate the same stuff, whether that's due to contracts or whatever, or whether it's due to the nature of the questions that they're getting asked by the presenter on the night. You never know. I beg the hundreds to bring back Slippy G. Jumping back into the comments on here. Where's Maloney going? I seen that Maloney was on the move, but I didn't pay much attention to it. Was it no? I don't know. No idea. When it's not directly involving Celtic, the only reason I'm talking about Bruni tonight is because Bruni's a proper legend of the club. When you've got the likes of Paul Caddis and Sean Maloney spoken about for other jobs, it's like fair play to them, well done to them. They had their time at Celtic. They're never going to be in the same category as what Scott Brown is. I mean, Scott Brown's up there. He's the captain that won the second 9 in a row. So for me, he's up there. And it's no disrespect to other players that have been at the club and moved on, but that is what it is. I think Kelly Job would be great for a move for Bruni. Not a chance. Those horrible what? Tonto coño naranjas. I see it in Spanish. Fucking they can moan. Yeah. No. Anybody but Kelly. No, it just gives me the fear. I'm just reading through some of these. Anyway, we've got 128 votes. I want to try and get up to 200. There has been over 500 people on the live so far. There's currently 182. Would Dundee be a good fit for Bruni? Would it be a good fit for Bruni? Yeah, nearly, William, nearly. Hail from a very hot Tunisia, says. It would do well for them, says Lanky. Would it do well for them? Nah, because if you look what McInnes did at Aberdeen, he wasn't able to recreate at Aberdeen at Kilmarnock, really. And the fact that they were in and around the relegation zone for a big part of this season, I don't think that they would be a good fit for him. I don't think so. But then it's all about opinions, mate. It is all about opinions. You know that in this channel. It is all about every single person that comes on having their own opinion of what they think that our ex-players should do. Anyway, let me see if there's any more Celtic news kicking around this evening. Obviously, the talk is starting to talk about potentials coming in. There's a lot of nonsense starting to go around. Jota's return sparks jealous waka. It's a slow news week. What can I say? People go onto social media and they say that a player is no, not a chance. It's coming for the record. Come on. It's coming for the Daily Record. This nonsense. And at 30-year-old, not a friggin' chance. Get a grip of yourself. It came for the Daily Record, this story. Oh, you're going to get linked to every Celtic ex-player. I'm not even going to read the rest of that. Absolute nonsense. So for me, it's a complete nonsense story. Christopher, time for Celtic to buy 4 players that will be straight into the team. I've already said more than likely need 7 players. I beg the Hunts to bring back Slippy. Where did that one go? And when we next play Sevco at Celtic Park, we should play simply the best. Lol, says June Boy Martin. That's old news now. Maybe Sean and Bruni would do. Nah, Bruni's not going to... As much respect as I've got for Sean Maloney, Scott Brown is... I mean, I don't even think Scott Brown would come to Celtic, to be honest. I don't think he'll be Celtic manager. I think that he's ultimately got... him and his best mate. He's managing with his best mate from his youth days at Hibs. Even though the Whittaker played for Rangers, could you imagine? Would you accept? Well, here's a go. Would you accept Stephen Whittaker as a Celtic number 2, even though he played for Rangers? There's one. We'll get this one at 140 votes. Nah, I wouldn't even want to do a poll on it. Just tell me in the comments. Over here today, telling pal hopes that Lennon Miller. We've got Lennon Miller. They've not got Lennon Miller. I seen the GG interview. It's a live chat, Baz. Well, I still think it's nonsense. There's not a chance he'll come back to Celtic. He's 30-year-old. He's older than Kyogo, right? He's older than Kyogo. He didn't... That's like... How many players said in public... and said to Scott Brown via WhatsApp they made a mistake leaving Celtic. All that the Grumpy Greek has got is the exact same. It's like, I wish I'd never left. Because look who's getting... Kyogo didn't last. They brought in Adam Ida. If I didn't leave, they would never have brought in Adam Ida. I'd have been the hero. Kyogo would have left and it would have been all good. Well, tough. You wanted away. You know what I mean? So, anyway. Simply the best. It needs to go. Yeah, it needs to go. We should look at Tina Turner logbook. What is that? Sick of ex-players being punted back to Celtic. Yeah, Paul. It's never going to happen. I think because we're bringing back Kieran Tierney and we brought back Jota. The Jota one was pure luck. I mean, selling a player for 25 million. Allowing him to go away and make the money that he made, and then go to Rennes, and he's not had a good time at Rennes, and then Celtic get the opportunity to buy him back. He's still at an age where Celtic can get 2 or 3, 4 good years out of Jota. Jota won't be in any hurry to leave now. He's done that. He's still a fantastically good player. We didn't see the full potential of Jota this season before he got injured, purely by the fact that he hadn't played a lot of football this season. I think that if Jota had stayed fit, he would have got obviously fitter. But the time that he comes back for pre-season and we get a full pre-season with Jota, you'll see the old Jota, if not better, a better player. When you see some of the moves that Jota was doing in games, he's head and shoulders above some of the players that we've got. Head and shoulders above some of the players that we've got. But yeah, it made sense to be able to bring Jota back. Kieran Tierney, it makes sense to bring Kieran Tierney back. You're getting him for nothing. You're getting another £25 million player. If Kieran Tierney was to go down anywhere, if Kieran Tierney was to go anywhere else in England, he would still be on 80 to 100 grand a week. Easily. I mean, he could easily, he's at an age where he could still be on if Jeffrey Sloop's on 60 grand a week in England, Kieran Tierney's got to be on at least 100. I mean, he was on 120 at Arsenal. He's going to be on at least 120 if he stayed down in England. But he decided, no, I want to come back to Scotland. I want to come back and he'll finish his career at Celtic. So it made sense that way to bring these two players back. And then that gets fans buzzing and it gets the media buzzing and then it gets journalists asking ex-players the question, would you go back to Celtic? And that's all it is. That's all that happens. It's the media like to play the game. Now that they've seen two players go back, they say, well, the next time that they're interviewing someone, it's the age-old question, would you go back to Celtic? I mean, they even asked Ange early on when he was down in London town. Anyway, when is that game? Is it Thursday night? Man United. I need to watch that. So I'll probably not do it. Will I do it live? When is it? Oh, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I need to set the telly up then. I can't do a watch along on this channel. Sitting watching Tottenham Man United. There's fucking Celtic channel. It's meant to be a fucking Celtic channel. You can't fucking just talk about fucking Celtic. Fucking wanker. Oh dear. 154 votes, right? We're trying to get to 200 votes. There's been over 700 people on the live. There's 200 currently on, and we're at 154 votes. Jim McClarty says, good night and God bless. Stephen off. Stephen, I hope you're good. He's maybe signed off now. I hope you're good. I hope it's never taken too much at you today. Lanky talking about the fact that KT turned down Juventus. Yeah, he turned down a lot of clubs. And I think that it all goes back to that meeting in London, doesn't it? The meeting in London. I pissed myself out, you're nuts. How have I done now? Do you know what it is? I've had white chocolate tonight, so I've had a bit of sugar rush before I came on. Had some white chocolate and a cup of tea. The tea's cold. Been on for 28 minutes, that's why. So yeah, some white chocolate. I've not had a sugar kick like that all weekend. It's like, woohoo! Brilliant. KT move actually happening. He's still a gunner till Sunday. Could bail for a good over. No, he can't. It's when you do. Celtic have it's done and dusted because Celtic put it out in their annual statement that the Kieran Tierney one was happening. What about Dumbelly? What, Musa or the young one? He knows where his bread is buttered. So, are you talking about Tierney? Baz, it's true. You let it slip. You took Kaiser at a hotel for a bit of pegging. Do you know? I'd never knew what pegging was until I was watching a comedian, and he was asked about pegging, and I was like, "What the fuck is pegging?" And I'm more surprised that you talk about it so much, mate. So if you like getting done up the arse with a dildo, good on you. That's fantastic. Does your missus give? Is that a lady boy? Is it your missus? Does she give you a wee reach around when she's doing it to you? Just asking. Just you're so involved in the whole pegging thing. But anyway, it's good to know. Oh Jesus. What about Larson? Yeah, you could bring back Larson. You could bring back Mr. Dumbelly. What about bringing back Paul Lambert? Listen, if if Scott Bain can sit on the bench all these years and pick up even more medals than any, I mean, he's bound to have more medals than Paul Lambert. Jealousy is a terrible thing. Oh. No square sausage, no party CSC. The joke's all on you now. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yes, Baz. You want to show it on your OnlyFans. It's not my OnlyFans, it must be your OnlyFans. And if I was on OnlyFans, mate, I wouldn't be doing YouTube, because I reckon you get paid way more for doing OnlyFans than YouTube. But you could tell us that. So you can come on here and we'll interview you if you like, weirdly enough. What? It's them. How many medals has Bain got? Lorna Gallagher's learned something new tonight. Scott Bain is beyond criticism. We all know what he's doing. Lawwell's daughter? Just putting it out there. Lorna's daughter. Lawwell's daughter. That's the only thing that it can be doing. More than the maestro. Now that's Joseph, that's right. I mean, he will have more medals than the maestro. How wrong is that? That's just it's madness. As I check for some more Celtic news. Now, obviously, a lot of the talk tomorrow will turn to the Europa. Kaiser saying, a real live interview, you need to put your teeth in. Kaiser says to no square sausage party CSC, he'd hate to put his teeth in. Did he lose them when biting the pillow too much for his missus? Bagging him up with a jacksie with a strap on. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. Jesus. I don't know what's wrong with some folk. Anyway, the media tomorrow and a lot of Celtic pages will talk about Ange Postecoglou and the fact that he takes his team to Spain. They're already in Spain. They arrived today. They arrived in Spain to acclimatise to the weather. Coming from London to Spain, the north of Spain, where it's just the same temperature it is as in North London. But Ange and the team is in Spain getting ready for the Europa against the mighty, well, they're not that mighty anymore, but it's Man United. Who would be the favourites for that? A lot of Celtic fans will be obviously backing Ange Postecoglou. Kaiser. Oh, Jesus. I'm not even getting involved. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. But anyway, so a quick nod to Ange. He's obviously a manager that says that he always wins something in his second season. Will he be able to continue? Will he win the Europa? Could you imagine if he won the Europa? It always takes me back to the Scottish Cup final a few years ago when Martin O'Neill stood with Ange Postecoglou on the turf at Hampden Park, and Martin O'Neill turned around to Ange Postecoglou and says, "Don't leave Celtic," almost pleading with them to stay at Celtic because he knew how good he was. And I think Martin O'Neill thought, if you can get Ange a good run in European football at Europa level, You never know, he might be able to outdo Martin O'Neill. And what if that was to be the case? How would you feel about that, Celtic fans, that if Ange Postecoglou was to go down there and been through all the turmoil that he's been at that horrible, horrible club? I hope he gets beat. Sorry. I can't hide my detest for that club that he went to. I hope Man United win. I don't care what you say. I cannot back Tottenham ever. I can never back Tottenham. I'm going to have to back Man United. Man United, back in the 90s, when you went in, and here's an interesting fact that you may not know. When you went into the Man United Superstore, as they were known back in the day, and when you went into the Man United Superstore, there was a lot of Ireland tops for sale and Celtic tops. There was a lot of Celtic tops and Ireland tops at that time in the Man United shop. So for me, it's going to be Man United tomorrow, I think. Come on, United. I've always been my favourites. English club story. Ange says Paul. If Ange wins the Europa League, he will still leave. Yeah, I think he will. No banger CFC definitely takes it. What is going on in the comments? I'm not scrolling back up to see what's going on. Oh, Jesus. More ex-Celtic players managing in the SPFL, the better, says Mikey Boy. It's kind of strange that more Celtic managers, ex-players, don't get... Oh, come on, it's Scotland. Letting Catholics in charge of their team. Come on. Yeah. Spurs will win the Europa and go straight through the Champions League next season. Then Spurs will get Celtic next season. But Ange Postecoglou won't be there. So that'll be an interesting one. He'll go and find another club that needs a bit up the arse to go to. So it is interesting, yeah. I'm just not going to read the chat anymore. Right, I need 12 votes to close down the poll. There has been over 900 people on the live so far. There's 200 people currently online, but only 178 votes. Would the Dundee job be a good fit for Brunei? Was the question. 64% say yes, 36% say no. One part of me says yes, it would be good for Scott Brown to take that job, but another part of me thinks that Scott Brown wants to get promoted, to have that on his CV. Who's got a ticket for the final? I know somebody that's needing a ticket for the final. So if anybody's got, I haven't even any idea what you're talking about anymore. Leicester target out of contract. Celtic star. Oh, this is a new one. This is a new one. It's fucking Jeffrey Sloop. Leicester City are reporting to bring back Jeffrey Sloop this summer. The left back's out of contract at Crystal Palace and with one game left. His loan spell at Celtic. His loan spell at Celtic against Aberdeen this Saturday. Sloop joined Celtic after falling out of favour with Palace under... Who cares? They can take him. Journeyman. One word that describes Jeffrey Sloop, and it's journeyman. What are you talking about, honestly? Right, it looks like I'm going to have to close this poll down. Joseph Davison's needing a ticket for the final. I know a few folks that are needing some extra tickets, but Aberdeen have sold out their allocation. Absolutely disgusting. Sold out their allocation of tickets for the game. Oh, there's some nice cool air coming in. It's just got dark and there's nice cool air coming in. Perfect. Kasper Schmeichel puts down the success that he's had at Celtic as hard work. Kasper Schmeichel's success is all down to hard work. The club on the brink of a domestic treble with the game against Aberdeen in often this weekend. Kasper Schmeichel has told Celtic fans he never takes success for granted as they close in for a 6th treble in 9 seasons. 6 trebles in 9 seasons. And when I was back at Celtic Park at the weekend, it was like I'd never been away. The fact that my seat was about 5 seats away from my old seat. Goalkeeper has told the Celtic FC podcast, "We will never take these things for granted because it's not easy winning trophies or titles. Celtic have been able to do it because they have maintained an incredibly high standard of professionalism that is rooted deeply in the hard work and dedication. Without that, it's never going to happen," says Kasper. "I've been very lucky in my career to win trophies at different stages with different teams and different clubs. And these opportunities don't just come along. There are periods you see at big clubs. Liverpool went a long time without winning. Manchester United are in one now. These clubs go through big periods of transition. You must never take these things for granted. We've only got to enjoy them because you never know what's round the corner. But one thing I can guarantee, from my knowledge from the people in this building, no one is going to let up. No one is going to let the standards drop or let the focus go elsewhere." Kasper Schmeichel. Unbelievable that he had such a fantastic start to his Celtic career and come in and just carry on the great work that Joe Hart did. It's very rare that Celtic get really experienced keepers like Kasper Schmeichel, like Joe Hart. If you had told us 5 or 6 years ago that we would go and get a Joe Hart at Celtic and Kasper Schmeichel at Celtic, I mean, I can remember when a young Kasper Schmeichel was at Falkirk at his early days, and you're kind of thinking then, I wonder if this guy's going to be half as good as his dad. It turns out that he wasn't just as half as good. He was good. He was a good player, and we've got him at Celtic. And the fact that he is now being a mentor for our very next version, which will just have the continuation progress of Celtic keepers that are fantastic. And we hope Sinisalo, when he gets his chance in a year's time, goes on to have a long and wonderful career. And it's good that Sinisalo is talking about longevity at Celtic. He's talking about, he knows that he might have to go out on loan this summer. He knows that he's not going to be the Celtic number one choice for another full year. But he knows that he's prepared to wait it out. He knows that he's prepared, that he's got a long career in front of him. He's just a kid when it comes to goalkeepers. And it's good that he knows that he's going to be here for a long time and that he's got a really good winning mentality. Right? I need 7 votes. I'm just going back, flying solar for Jeff. I'm just reading some of these. I personally drive Sloop to London. He's pissed. Oh, Jesus. Right, I need 7 votes and then we're going to shut the poll down, and then I'm getting off this tonight because I've been on way further than I was going to, way longer. But that's all the Celtic news that is coming out tonight. I'll just try to see if there's anything else. Nothing seems to be. Renew your season ticket. If you haven't renewed your season ticket, I'm not a clown, says Ange Postecoglou, falling out with the media again. Do you think that Ange will go? I don't think he'll go to another club in England. I think he'll try his luck abroad, in Europe. I think Europe, it wouldn't surprise me if he went to his homeland, Greece. Wouldn't surprise me if he went to Greece. 3 votes. You need 3 votes. Come on then. 193 people on. Been over 1,000 people online. We can't even get 200 votes. Fucking kind of birds that. Would the Dundee job be a good fit for Brunei? I'm just going to end it because we're not going to get the votes. And there it's done and dusted. Ange will win and walk. Yeah, I think so. I think he'll win and walk also. Right, we will be back 9 o'clock Celtic Park time tomorrow. And then we'll see what news is kicking around in the afternoon. And then there is a game tomorrow night. So I might start the live a little bit earlier because I reckon a lot of people will be wanting to watch the football tomorrow. So it may be 7:30 Celtic Park time tomorrow for the live before the Europa Cup final, because it's always a good game to watch. Well, it will be. See, hopefully you get some English on English fighting, as you always do. Anyway, on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening. Celtic fans, wherever you are, especially you lot, you 182 that are still watching.